So Stranger Things Season 4 is right around the corner, and we could not be more excited. But I want to talk about why we love Stranger Things here, and I'm going to touch on my physical media collection with Stranger Things. So, let's talk. So Stranger Things is a Netflix original TV series based in the 1980s, and it was written by the Duffer Brothers, and it's based in the 1980s about a group of friends, young kids, and they're super into Dungeons and Dragons and all the cool movies and games and arcades and just typical 80s nerds, It's right up our alley here. It's just such an amazing show. I can't say anything bad about this show. It is absolutely incredible. It checks all the boxes for me. I am in absolute love with this show. And I think I would go as far to say that this might be my favorite show of all time. I would put this above most movies. This is one of my favorite pieces of content in the world to watch. So the Duffer Brothers, they must have been inspired by all 80s or 70s and 80s horror, like Carpenter and Stephen King and all the big ones, Wes Craven, and they. It's not a very scary show. It's not. I wouldn't say it's horror. It's not a slasher or any of that. But there's some thriller elements. There's some horror elements. There's some sci-fi elements. And again, it just checks all the boxes for me. The way this was filmed, this is literally filmed. They must have spent so much money on this show, and I'm glad they did, and I'm sure they're glad they did because it took off. And I don't know anybody who dislikes this show, but this thing was filmed like a high-budget franchise movie from the beginning. The shot they take and the scenery, and they nailed every aspect of the 80s. The composers, Michael Stein and Kyle Dixon. This show has an amazing score. They really nailed that 80s synth with the intro and just the background music throughout the season. It's just incredible. I love Stranger Things so much, and if you've never seen it, you really should. It's on Netflix. You have to check it out. Season 4 is right around the corner, which we will have a video for, and we are so excited to get into that. But we're going to be so upset when this show is over because I can't get enough of this. I've watched through Stranger Things Season 1, 2, and 3 probably 3 or 4 times by now. I absolutely love it. I have a Lego set that I'll put a picture of, and it's one of my favorite things ever. I just love being in the world of Stranger Things. I love being in Hawkins, Indiana. I love seeing what they created on the set to make it look like the 80s. Everything looks, it's perfect. It's literally if I told you this was, so if I've never seen this and you told me this was filmed in the 1980s and this is just a 4K upscale cleaned up version, I would believe you because that's how good they did. It's amazing. And just some of the scenery and the set pieces, Season 3 in particularly, the Starcourt Mall. What else screams 80s than MTV and the mall? Everyone was at the mall, the neon colors, all the pastel and neon colors, and just the clothes that they were wearing. They nailed every aspect of the 80s, all the scenery. It's just, oh my god, I love it. I love seeing that on the screen. I love how the colors pop and just seeing the old styles of the mall, and it's just so awesome. And then going to the movie theater and Steve working in the ice cream parlor, the Scoops Ahoy, it's perfect. These guys knew what they were doing, and they were really able to get it from the paper to the screen, and it's perfect. I also wanted to touch on a little bit of the story. So I guess it's like a sci-fi horror thriller all put together, but basically there's some sort of, without spoiling it, there's some sort of creature or thing that lives in another world parallel to their world, and there's this company that works at the power plant, and they found a way to get into their world, and they opened up some door and just released hell. And basically Will is a vessel, I guess would be a word for it. He gets taken over by the Demogorgon, or whatever they want to call it, or whatever you want to call it. And so it's up to his friends and his family to get him back, and that's basically the first season. Then the second season it comes back, they're trying to figure out how to close the door and send it back and all that stuff. And then season 3, it gets even crazier. It takes over Max's brother, Billy. It's just a great show. It makes sense on screen. You know, obviously this probably can't happen, but hey, who knows? But it's just, every fine detail is just perfect in this show, and that's why we love it here. I think they casted this show perfectly. I love all the characters. I love all the actors who played the characters. I think they nailed that. They nailed the composers, the Duffer Brothers. They hit a home run with this show, and this is definitely picking up Netflix and carrying it on its back, because Netflix is not bad, but without the Stranger Things, Netflix is just another streaming service. But Netflix is something you cannot cancel because you need Stranger Things. But you also can pick up physical media if you didn't want to stream Netflix, or if you have bad internet. But closing thoughts on the show before we jump into 4K discs and the Blu-ray discs. This show, it's such a compelling story. I love sci-fi, I love 80s, I love horror. So they just mash that all into one, and that's what Stranger Things is. This is the perfect show to me. This is what I want. This is something I can watch over and over and over. I would put the show right up there with the Terminator. I absolutely love it. Terminator is my favorite movie of all time. I think this is hands down my favorite show of all time. And it's very close to the best thing to watch. You know, this might even be better than a movie because there's more of it. And you just have so many hours to just be involved in the story or the campaign. We'll say campaign because that fits this better. Of these characters. There's a tie-in game that we talked about in another video, the Stranger Things 3 game, and there's so much merchandise and stuff now for this show, and it's worth it because it's such a fantastic show. So like I said, me and John are gonna do a Stranger Things season 4 review once that's out. We'll probably binge through the entire season or part 1 of the season, what they release on Saturday or whatever it is, and we'll get the video out as fast as possible. And then you'll hear John's thoughts on the show, which probably are going to mirror mine for the most part, because I know he's a big fan. I don't know if he loves it as much as I do, but I was just watching some of these Blu-rays and comparing them to the stream, and I'm just getting sucked right back in. I didn't want to stop. I started this an hour ago. It took me over 2 hours to watch a couple scenes just because I was getting sucked into it and I didn't want to stop. And I thought to myself, do I have enough time to cram in 3 seasons before Friday? No, probably not. But I really, really want to, because this show is just that incredible. I just want to keep coming back to it and back to it and back to it. It's perfect. It's chef's kiss. They nailed it. The Duffer Brothers, they have something special here, and I'm gonna be sad when it's gone. But so that's my thoughts on the show. 10 out of 10 show. It's perfect. But let's talk physical media. As any franchise would, or money-hungry company, they want to get the most money they can for it. So we have merchandise / physical media. Now, this is awesome. Look, it's a VHS tape box, and the Blu-rays are inside here. So I guess their thought was, hey, if you want to own it, or hey, you don't have good internet, you could pick it up on disc and not have to worry about streaming it. So I did compare these to the stream, and I'm not gonna lie, I watch all my Blu-rays and 4Ks on an Xbox Series X, and if you guys don't know or aren't familiar, the Series X does not support Dolby Vision through a disc. It can stream Dolby Vision stuff, but it will not play Dolby Vision on a disc. I'm not 100% sure if this even has Dolby Vision, as it just says 4K Ultra HD, because this is 4K discs are in here. And on there, it just has you can select your audio 5.1 and 2.0. I'm not, like, it hurts me to say this, but I think the stream might have the slight edge, only because I could watch that in Dolby Vision, where this is just normal HDR on the disc. Now, if you had a proper Blu-ray player or 4K player, then perhaps that would be where this would shine. But I think this is more if you don't have the proper internet, or if you're just a big super fan like I am. This is an awesome collector's item. So I just want to show you guys what this looks like. So it's got like a little pre-owned sticker on it with the price and VHS, hi-fi, and then you pull it out. So you got your slipcover, and it still looks like a VHS tape. Like, to the naked eye, this is a VHS tape. But nope, you pull that out, it's got a nice little magnet, and then you open that, and then you got all your discs inside. So this is season 1, and it's got some cool little bonus stuff in here. It's got some pictures and a poster. Actually, I think season 2 had the pictures. This has the poster. So you have a poster of Stranger Things. I guess they gave you a Stranger Things 2 poster as a as a teaser, because this is season 1. So that was season 1. These are all the 4K discs. Then I have season 1 on Blu-ray, which is an alternate cover, slightly different. And then I didn't open this one. I'm gonna leave this one sealed still, because that has the 4K, and I'll probably never use the Blu-rays, but I picked this up for cheap. These were all Target exclusives that I just wanted to have in my collection. But it's, again, it's, you know, you got your VHS box, and I imagine it's gonna look pretty similar to the 4K box set. And now moving on to season 2. Now this is where it gets really cool. This is actually like in a Blockbuster style rental case. It's got like that matte, like not clear, but it's like matte finish, and you can see there, it's like the old Blockbuster hard cases. And that was the idea with this one. Now this is the season 2 4K box set, and then you open it up just like you would a normal Blockbuster case, and this has a red VHS tape that opens up like that, and then you have all your 4K discs inside there. And this also has the Blu-ray. I think they both sets actually have the Blu-ray discs also included with the 4K set. So that's something to think about. Again, I only got both because as the collector I wanted to have it, but these are discontinued and out of print. So I had to pick this one up on eBay. I think I spent like $100 on this, but to me it's worth it, because it's just the packaging alone is incredible with these. I love what they did here, and I'm willed by season 3 day 1 and season 4 day 1 if it ever comes out. So as of right now, only season 1 and season 2 are available on Blu-ray. And then this also inside the box, this is the one that had the pictures. So it has just like these random pictures of the cast. So that's Will playing with a camera. You got Dustin, that looks like Elle at the dance, 11. And then you got Steve, Mike, and Elle. There's Lucas and Max. And back to Will. And there, it looks like they were just taking on the camera in this picture. A little Polaroid camera that they got developed, and it's just the old school picture. It's on nice hard stock. So that's the packaging. The packaging alone is worth it, you know, even if, because I'll probably still end up always just watching the streams with these, because like I said, the Dolby Vision I think looks better on the stream than what I was getting out of the disc. So unfortunately I would have to give it to the stream, but for packaging alone, as a collector, this is a must-have. I love the way it looks on my shelf. I love having it. I love being able to hold it. And if Netflix ever goes somewhere, because Netflix isn't doing great now, I mean, it's never going to go out of business. They'll probably never take it down, and you probably don't ever have to worry about it. But if it does, the rights expire or whatever, I have it right here. Can't take this away from me. So that's one thing that I really love about having the disc. And a show that I love this much, I don't ever want to lose it, because it's just that incredible. We really hope to get Season 3 and Season 4 on physical one day, but as of right now, there's no news of it, so I'm not sure if we ever will. So my final verdict on the physical stuff is, I think if I had the proper player, it would probably look identical, because Netflix really does have a really good stream, and I don't think that there's really too much loss with a Netflix stream. So unless you have terrible internet or you don't have a Netflix subscription, I mean, at this point, because these are discontinued, it might be cheaper just to subscribe to Netflix and then watch it through there, because these could probably get a little expensive since they're out of print. But overall, I would say you have to watch these shows. No matter where you watch them, you have to watch it. It's incredible. If you're even watching this video because you think you might be interested, you're interested, because it's perfect. Perfect show. Perfect stream from Netflix, because I think Netflix has one of the best streaming services. And then they nailed it with this packaging, because again, the show's based in the 80s, and what we have in the 80s, we had VHS tapes and rental stores. So that's my thoughts on Stranger Things, the show, and the physical offering that we have, and we cannot wait to get into Season 4 later this week, so keep an eye out for that. And if you guys made it this far, I just want to say thanks. You can help us out by liking the video and subscribing to our channel. Until next time, have a great day, guys.